In this video, we are going to do these 7 questions from the chapter mensuration, and they are based on trapezium only, as I can see, and one question I can see is based on the rhombus. So that's based on the area of a trapezium and area of a rhombus. Let's begin with the first question. In the first question, it says find the area of a trapezium with base as 12 centimeter and height as 6 centimeter. Further, it says if the side parallel to the given base is 7 centimeter. So what I'm going to do is to make a trapezium. Let's say if I make one trapezium, what you know that in a trapezium, uh, one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So clearly these are parallel sides. Let's say if it is A, B, C, D, as I name it, we are given the base as 12 centimeters. So this is 12 centimeter. And the other base, parallel base, you can see it's mentioned as 7 centimeters. So this will be AB as 7 centimeter. And we are given the length of the altitude, and the altitude is drawn. This is the altitude drawn. Let's see if I name this as AM as the altitude. Now what we have to find out is the area. So we have a direct formula for finding the area of a trapezium, and area of a trapezium is what? That is half multiplied by the height, that multiplied by the sum of the parallel sides. So we use A and B as the symbols. So this is height. Altitude, as you can see, it's given in the question as 6 centimeter. So this is h will be replaced with 6 multiplied by the sum of the parallel side, which is 7 plus 12. Right? These are the two parallel sides. Now what we can do rest is to reduce this. This is divisible by 3 times, and this is 3 multiplied by 19. So it should come as 57 centimeters square as the area for the first part. In the second question, we have to find the altitude of a trapezium, given that the sum of the lengths of the bases are 8.5 centimeter and whose area is also given. So let's say if I make a trapezium, I'm going to make a trapezium first. So this is a trapezium, and as you can see, these are say AB and CD are the parallel bases over here. And we are given the sum of these parallel bases. Further, we are given an altitude. We have to find out the altitude. The length of the altitude is what we have to determine. This is what we have to get. Now check over here what information we have. Number one, we know the area over here, and area is given as 34 centimeters square. And these are the bases over here, that is A and B. So I'll take the base, sum of the bases. We don't know the length of individual bases. It is how much? 8.5 centimeter. Now what we have to find out is the altitude. So we can first of all write down the formula involved in finding the area. It is half multiplied by h, which is the altitude, that multiplied by the sum of the parallel bases. We know the value of area, so we can plug in 34 over here is equal to half multiplied by the altitude, and altitude is what we have to get. Further, we have A plus B as mentioned 8.5, so I can replace this with 8.5. Now further calculation, I'm transposing this 2 on the other side, so it will be multiplied with 2, as you know, on transposing, and will be divided by 8.5. That should give you the value of h over here. Now, next is calculation involved is what I can remove the decimal over here and write a 0. You know that these numbers are divisible 17 5 times and 17 2 times, 2 1 times, and 5 1 times, right? And 5 4 times is 20. So we get h as how much? 8 centimeter as the altitude. So this is 8 centimeter. Now in the third question, what we know that the sum of the lengths of the bases of a trapezium whose area is 4.2 centimeter and whose height is this. So this time we have to find the sum of the lengths of the bases. So as usual, we will be making a trapezium here. So a trapezium drawn over here. Say this is a trapezium. I name it as A, B, C, D, and that is the parallel sides as A and B over here, and the altitude is h over here. So what you can see that what we know is number one, area. So I can write area as 4.2 centimeter square, that is mentioned, and height is also mentioned. So we have h as how much? 280 centimeter. What we have to get is the sum, right? We don't have to get their individual bases. We have to get a plus b all together, their sum. So we'll be applying the formula of a trapezium. It is half into h bracket sum of the parallel sides. I can replace a with the value of a, which is 4.2 mentioned in the question. So it is 4.2, that is half into h is given as 280. So I'll be replacing h with 280. That multiplied by a plus b, and this is what we have to get. That is a plus b is what we have to find out. Remember, we don't have to get their individual value. Now check here, if I reduce this, it's divisible by 2, so it's 140. And we need to see the unit. Yes, there was a problem with the unit. Now I just noticed that the unit is what? This is centimeter, others in meter. So therefore, we need to write this in centimeters. It's going to be 2.80, right? In that case, let me show you once again. The unit here is in meters, so it is 2.8, right? Instead of 280. Now, if I reduce it, it's going to be 1.4. Now, on transposing this 1.4 to the left-hand side, it will be what? 4.2 that divided by 1.4. 1 decimal 4 is equal to a plus b together. Now, these are equal decimal places and it is divisible by 3. So, we'll say that a plus b is equal to 3 centimeter. Check, we have to get this sum right, not their individual value. So sum, we can say that is 3 centimeter. Sorry, it should be meter because we are have all other units in meter. So we'll be writing this as meter, not centimeter. So we need to change it. This is sum as 3 meter. Right, this would be our answer for the question 3. Let's move to the next. In the fourth question, the area of a trapezium is given as 143 centimeter square. So we know the area here and it is how much? It is 143 centimeter square. Further, it says an altitude, that is height, is 11 centimeters. So we can write h as 11 centimeter. As I read further, it says one of the parallel sides is longer than the other by 4 centimeters. So you know that parallel sides are A and B. So one of the parallel side is longer than the other. So as for the figure, I can see B is longer than A. So I can write that B is how much? How much more? This is 4 centimeter more. So B will be A plus 4. Right. This is what the information we have. And then what we have to find out is the length of these two parallel sides. So what you can do, there is another alternate way you can apply. You can take one of the side, say A as x, then the longer side B will be x plus 4. Now what we are going to do is to apply the formula of area of a trapezium. So we'll continue to do with the same manner. Area is half multiplied by h, that multiplied by the sum of the parallel sides. I can replace A with the capital A here is the area, and that is equal to half multiplied by h. H is mentioned as 11 over here. And A plus B, well, A is this, B is this. So you can see the sum of this. So you may write it A as x and B as x plus 4. Now check, what I'm going to do is to transpose this number to the left hand side. So it's going to be 143 multiplied by 2 and that divided by 11. On the other side, x plus x would give you what? 2x. 2x plus 4. This is can be reduced. 11 one times is 11 and 3 times. So this is how much? 13 into 2, that is 26, is equal to 2x plus 4. Now, if I transpose to 4 to the other side, it will be 26 minus 4. That is how much? This is on transposing 4 to the left hand side, it will give you 22 is equal to 2x. So clearly x will be what? 22 divided by 2. So that comes out to be 11. So once we got x as 11, what is parallel sides here? A and B. And A is how much? You can see that A is nothing but X, which is 11, and B is how much? X plus 4. So B, we got A, right? A is how much? A is equal to X, so 11, and B is how much? X plus 4, so 11 plus 4, right? This is 11 plus 4 should give you 15, and the unit should be centimeter. That's how we will do this question. In question number 5, it says parallel sides of a trapezium are in the ratio 2 is to 5. So you can see that these are the parallel sides and its ratio are given. Right. So what we can do here, let's say first if I take, let's say if I take A, this is in the ratio 2 is to 5. So I can take the A as 2x and B as 5x. You can write a let statement for this. Now, and the distance between the parallel sides is 10. And what is the distance between parallel sides? This is nothing but the height or the altitude is what the distance between the parallel sides. So we can see from here that h is given as 10 centimeter. As you read further, you find that the area is also given. Area of the trapezium is 350 centimeters squared. So I can use A as capital A as to denote the area, which is 350 centimeters squared. Now, what we have to find out is the length of these parallel sides. That means we have to get the length of A and B. Now we'll be applying the formula for the area of a triangle, that is area as half multiplied by h, that multiplied by the sum of the parallel sides. How much is A? That is 350. So I'll write this as 350 is equal to half into h. H is 10 over here. Replacing A and B as A is 2x and B is 5x. Now check here, I can reduce this 5 one times, sorry, 2 one times to 5 times. Further, this is 350 on the left hand side. If I transpose this 5 to the left hand side, it will be divided. And this is how much? 2x plus 5x is 7x. Now, this can be reduced 5 one times and 5 70 times. Yeah, that's right. So we got 7x is equal to 70. That implies x is equal to 70 divided by 7. That is 10. So check here. If you have the length of A now, x now, we can get A and B. And A is what? A is 2 times x and 2 times 10 is how much? 20. And B is 5 times. B is 5 times x is 10. So it's 5 into 10, 50. And the unit should be centimeters. So these are the answers of the or the length of the parallel sides we got. In question number 5, we have to find the cost of watering the trapezoid, that is a trapezium field whose parallel sides are given. So we know the length of these parallel sides A and B as 10 and 25. Further, the perpendicular distance between the parallel side, which is altitude only, h is given as 15, and the rate of watering is given as 4 rupees per meter square. So clearly first we'll be finding out the area and then the cost. Now, before that, we need to write down the information we have. We have A as how much? Parallel sides are 10 meter and the other parallel sides B as 25 meter. I can see that the altitude is given as 15 centimeter. So as we discussed that we'll be getting the area. So let's write on the formula of area for trapezium is half into h, that multiplied by the sum of the parallel sides. So that results to give you half into h replaced with 15 and the sum of the parallel sides as this, which is, if I write in 10 plus 25, so area comes out to be half multiplied by 15 into, this is how much? 35. So area we'll be multiplying 35 with 15, will not be converting in decimal. I'll tell you the reason why I'm not converting. So 15 into 35 is how much? 525 over 2, and that is unit is meter square. Now check, we have to get the cost. So for finding the cost here, it should be what? Rate multiplied by the area. So how much is the rate? It is rupees 4 per meter square. So 4 multiplied by the area, and area is how much? Is 5 to 5 divided by 2. This is the reason I did not converted this in decimal, because now I can see this can be reduced. So 500 into 2000, and this is 1000, 1050. right? So I multiplied this by 2 and this would come in rupees. So this is the answer for this question. In question number 7, it says find the area of a rhombus whose one side is 13 centimeter and the diagonal is how much it is 24 centimeter. So what we'll do here, let's say if I make a rhombus over here and I need to make one of its diagonal, which is given as how much? 24 centimeter. I can make any one of them. Let's say I made this diagonal. And we need to make the other diagonals for the reason I'll tell you later. I'll make the other diagonal here also. If I see the length of each side is given as 13, as you know, in a rhombus, all sides are equal. So if one side is 13 centimeter, then it has to be all sides as 13 only. So these are its all sides are equal. Now we know the length of one of the diagonal as how much? 24 centimeter. So if I name it, let's say if it is A, B, C, D, and if I take any of its diagonal, I go for say AC. AC as 24 centimeter. What we know that diagonals of rhombus bisect each other at 90 degree. That means the length of AO as well as OC should be half of 12. That is half of 24. That is 12 each. Now, so this is 12 centimeter. That is AO. AO is 12. We can see in the figure. What we have to find out is the area of the rhombus. You should know that area of a rhombus is half multiplied by the product of its diagonal. But the diagonal here is AC and BD. So I'll write AC and BD here, AC and BD. Check, you know the length of AC. So you may say that the length of AC I can write as 24, but you do not know here the length of BD, right? And that is what we are going to do. In order to get the length of BD, we are going to apply the Pythagorean triplet relation or Pythagoras theorem in this triangle, right? The triangle I have already shaded, it is clear. So we'll be applying in triangle. This is the name of the triangle is AOB. What we know, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. So it is AO square plus OB square. AB, whose length is 13, and AO is 12. From here you can see it is 12 square is plus OB square. Now 13 square is 169 and 14 square is what? 12 square is 144. If I transpose to the left, it should be minus is equal to OB square. So we get this is how much? 25 is equal to OB square. That results to give you OB as how much? OB should come as 5 centimeter. So if this is 5, as you know that diagonals bisect each other. So the length of BD should come as how much? 10 centimeter. So I'll write over 10. This get reduced by 12 times. So we get the area as 12 into 2. That is 12 into 10. That is 120 centimeter square. Yeah, it's centimeter. Now, instead of using this, you can even directly, depending upon the weightage of the question, you can directly apply Pythagorean triplets. As you know that 5, 12, and 13 are Pythagorean triplets. So depending upon the weightage of the question, you can do it directly.